Welcome to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. It's a memorable and dramatic morning. I am Ron Strauss, Executive Vice Provost and Chief International Officer and Chair of the Commencement Committee. It is my pleasure to introduce the academic procession and begin the commencement ceremony. Please welcome the distinguished representatives of the faculty, led by Faculty Marshal, Professor Valerie Ashby. Please welcome the candidates for doctoral, master's, and professional degrees. Please welcome the candidates for baccalaureate degrees. Please welcome the members of the class of 1965 returning to celebrate their 50th class reunion. welcome Chancellor Carol Folt and the distinguished members of the Platform Party, led by Faculty Marshal Valerie Ashby.
Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 2015 Spring Commencement Ceremony of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Even on a misty morning, There's nothing quite like the sight of Carolina blue-robed graduates surging out of the halls to take seats for the first time on the field and in the stands of Kenan Stadium. The members of the UNC Chapel Hill Air Force ROTC will present the colors. Please stand and join Kayla Hill, Kenan Music Scholar, who will lead us in singing the national anthem. Please be seated. Ever since 1795, when Carolina admitted its first students, this has been a public university that thrives from ideas and fresh perspectives of her graduates. Graduates, just look around you and take in this very special moment. It's something you've been working for years. And now you're here, and you're sharing this time with your friends, with your families, with your supporters. And I know that everyone in this stadium is just as proud of your accomplishments, as are all the members of the Carolina family, faculty, staff, who've helped you reach this wonderful milestone. I'd like to extend my special greetings to the amazing class of 1965. Woo! It could be hard for our current graduates to actually imagine where they fit into the context of Carolina's more than 200 years of history and traditions. But I think the class of 1965 is a shining example. They were the first wave of baby boomers. They were born to parents who were living during the Great Depression and the World Wars. They came to Carolina during a time of profound and meaningful change. the civil rights movement, the race into space, the birth of the environmental movement, and a wave of democratic struggles for freedom around the world that would alter our world forever. They were also part of the rock band era, with the Beatles releasing their first film of Help and the Grateful Dead having their first concert in 1965. And soul music like My Girl from The Temptations and the Supremes' Stop in the Name of Love. In many respects, class of 2005, you are very similar. You also are at the vanguard of changes, great changes in science, technology, social movements, culture, so much happening around our country. Now, whether your music is going to be as good, only time will tell. Class of 65 is with me on that one. Students, you are also part of a generation in America that is more ethnically and demographically diverse than any other that has gone before you. You've grown up during an explosion of technology, which has already changed every aspect of our life. There's always been an internet for you. Not for us. In just a short while, you're going to be hearing from Carolina alumnus Jason Kyler, who has played a very big role in developing these new technologies that you have experienced, but have disrupted things that generations before thought would never change. Like how we shop, how we look for services, how we're entertained, and truly how we see our world. You're also part of a generation, thanks to researchers here on our own campus, who will likely see the end to HIV/AIDS and other diseases that are confounding and have confounded generations of scientists and healthcare workers. You'll also face the real challenge of climate change. Just 3 days ago, the global climate carbon dioxide topped 400 parts per million for the first time in 5 million years. And you'll be part of creating the solutions that will feed our hungry planet, will find water for our very thirsty world, and will build safe and vibrant communities for your children and their children, who, by the way, might live quite a long time. And we know that many of you will make your mark right here in North Carolina. Others will make your mark across the globe, serving in ways that will be deeply meaningful not only to you, but to others, putting your great talents and education to work for the good of all. Through your education here at Carolina, you've already pushed yourself, you've already worked with some of the greatest minds of the day, you've participated in discoveries, in creation of technologies, building new arts and culture, and you've found an incredible array of chances to lead in service. Some of you have built companies and fought for things that really mattered to you. Thomas Edison famously said, "There's a way to do it better. Find it." And I believe, I know your faculty believes, your family and friends believe, that you are going to find it. We see in you fresh, principled, and a resolute face for our greater future. So today we're celebrating with you your accomplishments, but we're really celebrating with you your future. This morning, we're going to celebrate the active minds of our future, and that is 3,769 energetic, curious undergraduates. Yes. 1,419 master's students with so much to give to the world. 648 professional students who are ready to make their mark. And 217 doctoral students whose discoveries and passions will shape our nation. We're also celebrating our Carolina firsts, 660 graduates who are the first in their families to go to college. Your families have dreamed about this moment, and I think they're all soaking it in, and you have changed your families forever. I'm also very proud to announce that the class of 2015 includes 29 brand new ensigns and second lieutenants in the Army, Air Force, Navy, and Marines. They're going to be wearing a very special red, white, and Carolina blue cord. These young men and women will be leaving Chapel Hill for active duty, joining many Tar Heels, students, alumni, faculty, and staff who serve or who have served our country on active duty and in the reserves. They came to Carolina seeking an education, but we've learned even more from all of them. They brought their special perspective, their commitment to service of the deepest kind, and they have our sincere gratitude. I would now like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence and in tribute, in remembrance for our students and others whom you have loved who passed away over the past school year. When you leave today, remember that they walk with you in spirit. Finally, I'd like to ask the 1,352 members of the class of 2015 who have already given more than $43,000 in the senior campaign for Carolina. Thank you so much. That makes a huge difference here. I'm told you still have a few more days that you can still add to that number. And I'd like to mention that this year a very special event took place. The class of 1965 and the class of 2015 partnered to build a joint Habitat for Humanity home. The class of 1965 gave the donations, and the class of 2015 built the home in Eflin in Orange County for an employee of Carolina Dining Services. Thank you so much. And now one final note of appreciation, and the scream on this one has to fill the whole stadium. It is, of course, Mother's Day. Thanks to our mothers, wherever they may be, because we would not be here without them. So, that's great. It's now my very special pleasure to introduce my distinguished colleagues on the platform. They, like I, believe deeply in the promise and the potential of this wonderful class of 2015 to change the world. I'll call their names, they'll stand and remain standing, and we can applaud them all after I've recognized everyone. James Dean, Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost. Winston Crisp, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Steve Mattson, Professor of Biology and Dean of the Graduate School. Bruce Cairns, Chair of the Faculty. Charles Streeter, Database Analyst for Student Affairs and Chair of the Employee Forum. Shelby Dawkins Law, President of the Graduate and Professional Students Federation. Sasha Seymour and Alexis White, co-representatives of the senior class of 2015. Thank you all for participating in this ceremony. Now please join me in welcoming President Tom Ross, President of the University of North Carolina, who will bring greetings to our new graduates. I'd like to take a moment to recognize President Ross for his invaluable support and his countless contributions to Carolina. He has indicated his plans to step down early in 2016, and we want to make sure that we take this special moment to thank him, Carolina Law School class of 1975, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Chancellor Folt, Mr. McMahan, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished guests, and most importantly, the class of 2015. Good morning and happy Mother's Day. On behalf of the entire University of North Carolina, I welcome each and every one of you to this special event on this special day. And as the Chancellor said, I'm an alumnus of the University of North Carolina School of Law, and it is a privilege to take part in this celebration as president of the greatest public university in America, the University of North Carolina. I begin by thanking Chancellor Folt for her kind words and introduction, and for the fantastic leadership she is providing to our flagship university and my alma mater. Thank you, Chancellor, for your terrific stewardship of and dedication to UNC Chapel Hill. You are our #1 Tar Heel. Allow me also to join Chancellor Folt in offering special greetings to the families, parents, grandparents, spouses, and siblings, and to the close friends and other family members of this great group of students seated here before me. And to the faculty and students, staff, trustees, and alumni who have joined us today. Again, I extend especially warm greetings to each of you in the class of 2015. We are here today to pay tribute to you and to your individual achievements. All of us are extremely proud of you because of excellent teaching by an outstanding faculty and your own committed efforts. You have acquired knowledge, competencies, and skills that should serve you well for the rest of your lives. Your minds are sharp and filled with ideas. You can write, speak, and think with the best of them. You're prepared to engage globally and locally, and you're truly ready to tackle all of the many adventures, opportunities, and challenges life will bring to you. I am hopeful and confident that each of you will be successful. Some of you as doctors or lawyers, some as teachers or scholars, some as entrepreneurs, some working in nonprofits, some as CEOs, and some making life-changing or life-saving discoveries. I'm equally hopeful and confident that each of you will strive to make life better for others, that you will work to improve the community in which you live, and that you will do all you can to contribute to the societal good and a better world. My desire is that each of you lives your life going forward in a manner that matters, that makes a positive difference. So I urge you to go forth, do well and do good, be useful as well as successful. Again, I close by extending my best wishes and heartfelt congratulations to each of you graduates on this day, your big day, and I thank you for allowing me to share it with you.
Thank you, President Ross. I'm now pleased to introduce Ed McMahan, a member of the UNC Board of Governors. Mr. McMahan graduated from Carolina in 1966 with a degree in industrial relations, and we think we're going to see him marching with his reunion class next year. Ed is a retired businessman, former member of the North Carolina General Assembly from Charlotte, and he will bring greetings and present the Board of Governors Excellence in Teaching Award.
Thank you very much. Good morning. On behalf of the entire University of North Carolina's Board of Governors and UNC President Tom Ross, it is my great pleasure to bring greetings to today's graduates, their families, to this university's distinguished faculty, staff, alumni, Board of Trustees, Chancellor Folt, and members of the Platform Party. Graduates, congratulations. We're here to celebrate you and your accomplishments. The experiences learned during your time at this fine institution will resonate throughout your entire life. Your education at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill at Carolina has provided you the knowledge and the skills you will need to achieve success in these ever-changing, complex times. And wherever and whatever your future endeavors may be, we encourage you to stay connected to this wonderful university. You deserve to celebrate, but it is also important to acknowledge the contributions of your family and the faculty and staff of Carolina, especially those teachers who have helped, encouraged you, and provided you with the proper guidance to succeed. There are a number of faculty members on this campus who exemplify outstanding teaching. Today, I want to recognize one of them. It is my privilege today to present the Board of Governors Award for Excellence in Teaching. Established by the Board of Governors in 1994 to underscore the importance of teaching and to reward great teachers across the university, the awards are given annually to a tenured faculty member from each UNC campus. Recipients are nominated by special committees on their home campuses and selected by the Board of Governors Committee on Personnel and Tenure. This year's recipient from UNC Chapel Hill is Dr. Terry Sullivan. Chancellor, would you and Dr. Sullivan please join me? Dr. Sullivan is an associate professor of political science. He earned his BA degree and master's degree in government from the University of Texas and completed his postdoctoral studies at Carnegie Mellon University, Graduate School of Industrial Administration. He joined the Carolina faculty in 1988. In addition to his work at Carolina, Dr. Sullivan is executive director of the White House Transition Project, a multi-institutional project that prepares the major presidential candidates, the president-elect, and the outgoing president for the transition. His main research interest currently focuses on the nature of the presidential leadership, political tradecraft, and ambition in leadership models. Professor Sullivan teaches a variety of graduate and undergraduate courses on politics, including the Congress, the presidency, political leadership, and bargaining. He is the author of Nerve Center, Managing to Govern from the White House and Procedural Structures, Success and Influence in Congress, as well as other publications. Dr. Sullivan's teaching is guided by his passion to train students to develop in their own sophisticated understanding of presidential leadership, influence, the complexities of political strategy, and the nature of political power. In his undergraduate classes, students work in teams conducting research-based projects involving large database describing the activities of the President of the United States. They develop hypotheses based on theory and test these theories using the database that he shares with them. Both he and his students agree that his classes are extremely demanding, and he provides the support and mentoring to help students excel and surpass his high expectations. Dr. Sullivan, we celebrate your outstanding professional achievement and salute your demonstrated commitment to great teaching and inspiring a new generation of learners. In honoring you, we also acknowledge the more than 14,000 dedicated faculty members who teach over 220,000 students throughout our entire University of North Carolina system. Congratulations, Dr. Sullivan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. McMahon. Congratulations, Terry. I'm now pleased to introduce the chair of the Board of Trustees of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Lowry Caudill. Dr. Caudill will bring greetings from the Board of Trustees, and we thank him for his love and incredible investment of time and resources into this university.
Congratulations on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. As trustees, our job is to help make sure that Carolina students have the very best opportunities, everything that a great global public university offers, to help you learn, make discoveries, and apply your knowledge for public good. As students and now graduates, we want you to be prepared to see a need and think, does it have to be this way? We want you to have the tools to explore, discover, and implement. To start with a question, gather information, engage partners, persevere to reach a goal, and then implement new ideas and solutions. That's what we mean when we talk about being innovative and entrepreneurial. You can change the world. That's what we're doing at Carolina, and that's what you've been part of in your time here. UNC's founders believed that an educated person is a public asset, and the people of North Carolina and our supporters still believe in this public benefit. That is why your Carolina education has included engagement and public service. I urge you to continue to do this after you leave Carolina and to prove our founders were right. Congratulations on your achievement and best wishes for future success.
Thank you, Lowry. I'm now very pleased to introduce the chair of the Board of Directors of the General Alumni Association, Vaughn Bryson, who will bring greetings on behalf of Carolina's more than 300,000 living alumni. Mr. Bryson is a UNC class of 1960, the former president and CEO of Eli Lilly.
Thank you, Chancellor Folt. And let me add my congratulations to all of you. You and your family can be justifiably proud of your sacrifices and your accomplishments. As Carol has said, now you join the largest and only permanent part of our Carolina family. You are among more than 300,000 Carolina alumni living in each of North Carolina's 100 counties, every one of our 50 states, and over 140 nations. The General Alumni Association is the official organization for all former students. The GAA will keep you informed and connected to the university through our website and through our bi-monthly issues of the Alumni Review. Again, best wishes and congratulations for a job well done.
Thank you, Mr. Bryson. I have to say, I know it's not great to sit in the mist, but it looks spectacularly beautiful right now. The umbrellas are fantastic. We should take a movie of this, but it's going to stop soon. Okay. Commencement is an opportunity to recognize individuals who embody the mission of this great institution and inspire us all. Each year, the faculty selects individuals for distinguished service to the university, the state, the nation, and the world. And upon these individuals, we're privileged to confer honorary degrees in recognition of their exemplary achievement. One of our conferees was not able to be with us today, Dr. Peter Ware Higgs. I was able to give him his honorary degree at the University at Edinburgh in Scotland a couple of years ago. Professor Higgs is a professor of physics and astronomy who received the 2013 Nobel Prize in Physics for his theoretical discovery of a mechanism that contributed to our understanding of the origin of mass of subatomic particles. It took almost 48 years until 2012 from when he did his work that they were able to prove it with experimental technology in CERN, Switzerland. He spent an academic year, the year he wrote one of his most important papers, 1965 and 66, at UNC Chapel Hill. I was in Scotland with Dr. Higgs, and I asked him about his favorite memories of his time here. And he said that he would always be grateful that he was here for the Speaker Ban Law debates. And he remembered being so proud of Carolina students who stood up for the right of free speech, especially the class of 1965, our 50th reunion class here today. I now call upon Provost Dean to lead the ceremony. And Joseph Farrell, the Albert Coates Professor and Secretary of the Faculty, will come forward to read each citation. Christopher Derrickson, the University Registrar, will assist with the conferrals.
Will Professor Jamie Bartram please conduct forward Catarina de Albuquerque?
Chancellor Folt, I have the honor today to present Catarina de Albuquerque, who has been recommended by our faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Laws.
Catarina de Albuquerque is a world-renowned human rights lawyer. From the start, she focused on issues pertaining to health and human rights, and over the years has worked tirelessly on behalf of the dispossessed worldwide. Between 2004 and 2008, she negotiated an agreement that allows individuals to present complaints before the United Nations against their own governments for alleged violations of socioeconomic rights, including the right to health. Albuquerque is one of the world's most vigorous advocates of the rights of people in every nation to have access to safe drinking water and sanitation, rights which are currently denied to more than 1 billion people on Earth. Currently, she serves as Vice Chair of Sanitation and Water for All, a global partnership of more than 90 developing country governments, donors, civil society organizations, and others working toward a common vision of universal access to safe water and adequate sanitation. For outstanding achievement in advancing global human rights, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill is pleased to confer upon Catarina de Albuquerque the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Catarina de Albuquerque, by virtue of the authority vested in the University of North Carolina, by the state of North Carolina, and by the university entrusted to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws.
Will Dean Susan King please conduct forward Mary Elizabeth Junk?
Mary Junk is
I have the great honor, Chancellor Folt, to present our graduate, Mary Elizabeth Junk, who has been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Laws.
Mary Junk is Chief Executive Officer and Chair of Lee Enterprises, a major newspaper corporation and chair of the board of the Associated Press, America's leading international news service. Junk has been a generous and committed supporter of her alma mater, Carolina School of Journalism and Mass Communication. She endowed the Mary Junk Colloquium, supported the school's move to Carroll Hall, and made contributions that helped provide PhD students space on faculty floors. She has been a member of the school's Board of Visitors and represented alumni interest for many years. She has received the university's Distinguished Alumna Award in 1997. For outstanding contributions to journalism, the University of North Carolina is pleased to recognize Mary Elizabeth Junk.
Mary Elizabeth Junk, by virtue of the authority vested in the University of North Carolina by the state of North Carolina and by the university entrusted to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws.
Will Dean Doug Shackelford please conduct forward R. Charles Loudermilk, Sr.?
Chancellor Folt, I have the honor to present R. Charles Loudermilk, Sr., who has been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Laws.
Charles Loudermilk is an entrepreneur, philanthropist, business and community leader, and consensus builder. He founded Aaron Rents Incorporated in 1955 and led the company until retiring in 2012. As Aaron Rents grew, Loudermilk became a leading member of the Atlanta business community. He served as co-chair of the Atlanta Action Forum, a small but influential biracial group of behind-the-scenes business leaders who helped establish Atlanta as a role model for racial integration in the 1960s. Loudermilk has been a generous supporter of Carolina. He helped fund construction of the Keenan Flagler Business School's McCall Building and the Paul J. Rizzo Conference Center at Meadowmont. He also donated funds to build Keenan Stadium's Loudermilk Center for Excellence. For outstanding accomplishment in business and in recognition of his civil rights activity, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill is pleased to recognize R. Charles Loudermilk, Sr.
R. Charles Loudermilk, Sr., by virtue of the authority vested in the University of North Carolina by the state of North Carolina and by the university entrusted to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws.
Will Professor Joy Casson please conduct forward Charles W. Millard?
Chancellor Folt, I have the honor to present Charles W. Millard III, who has been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts.
Charles Millard is an outstanding art history scholar, writer, and curator. A nationally recognized expert on French sculpture, Millard published a well-regarded book on Degas' sculpture in 1979 and continued his scholarly contributions by writing on subjects ranging from Cubism to modern architecture, to pottery to photography. As a museum professional, he held important positions at institutions including Dumbarton Oaks, the Washington Gallery of Art, and the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, before being appointed the first chief curator of the Hirshhorn Museum and Sculpture Garden in Washington, D.C. He served as director of the Ackland Art Museum from 1986 to 1993. During that time, Millard added more than 800 new works to the Ackland collection, established a robust education program with an interdisciplinary university liaison, expanded the museum's staff, and accomplished a complete renovation of the Ackland building. For outstanding accomplishment in scholarship and museum development, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill is pleased to recognize Charles W. Millard III.
Charles W. Millard III, by virtue of the authority vested in the University of North Carolina by the state of North Carolina and by the university entrusted to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Fine Arts.
Will Professor Emil Kang please conduct forward Wyndham Gay Robertson?
Chancellor Folt, I have the honor to present Wyndham Gay Robertson, who has been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree Doctor of Laws.
Wyndham Robertson is a pioneer among women in journalism. After graduating from Hollins University in 1958 with an economics degree, Robertson joined Fortune magazine in 1961, was promoted to researcher reporter shortly thereafter, and began writing its landmark personal investing column in 1968. She was elected to Fortune's Board of Editors in 1974 and became the magazine's first female assistant managing editor in 1981. She left journalism in 1986 at the invitation of UNC President C.D. Spangler, Jr., to become the university's vice president for communications, with duties that included overseeing the UNC Center for Public Television. Robertson has been a generous supporter of her alma mater and chaired the Campaign for Hollins, which broke fundraising records for Southern women's colleges. She has also been a generous supporter of Carolina, especially the College of Arts and Sciences and Carolina Performing Arts. For outstanding accomplishment in journalism, the University of North Carolina is pleased to recognize Wyndham Gay Robertson.
Wyndham Gay Robertson, by virtue of the authority vested in the University of North Carolina by the state of North Carolina and by the university entrusted to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws. This concludes the honorary degree ceremony. And now it's my pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker. And I speak fast, so I'm going to start talking really, really, really fast. The year that many of you in our 2015 graduating class were arriving in the world, our commencement speaker was wrapping up his undergraduate career here at Carolina. 22 years ago, he sat in this stadium in his blue robe, contemplating his future. Like many of you, Jason Allen Kyler, the class of 1993, was dreaming big. In a few moments, you're going to hear his remarkable story, fueled by aspiration and dreams. He was a double major at Carolina in journalism and business, and he developed unique characteristics and an entrepreneurial business sense. He went to Harvard Business School, received an MBA, but we know his real roots were here in Carolina. He's certainly gone to more Carolina basketball games than he ever went to Harvard basketball games. I know there's so much that Jason wants to share with you. He was inspired by another American original, Walt Disney, who was fond of saying, "You can dream, build, and create the most beautiful places, but it takes people to make those dreams a reality." Throughout his career, he has lived that, and I know you're going to really enjoy hearing from him. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Kyler.
How's everybody doing out there? Okay, so before I begin, I gotta capture this with a selfie. So you on the left and the right are gonna have to move in just a little bit. And do me a favor, hoop and holler, and we'll catch a little selfie here. Ready? Let's go. Okay, I'll tweet that under hashtag UNC selfie, UNC grad, hashtag UNC grad. Okay. Thank you, Chancellor Folt. Thank you, President Tom Ross. Thank you, members of the faculty and members of the Board of Trustees. Thank you for the very kind welcome. It is an absolute honor to address you today and to congratulate the graduating class of 2015. That's right. So, as Chancellor Folt beautifully covered earlier in the ceremony, today is Mother's Day. None of this would be happening today if not for your mother's love and the estimated 51,392 hours of labor that was required collectively of your mothers to bring your graduating class's smiling faces into this world. Thank you, mothers. This is a spectacular day in your lives, one that will prove to be among the most memorable of life's mileposts. I'm particularly excited to be here today, given that I, too, went to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. My freshman year, I lived in the architectural triumph that is Hinton James Dormitory. I am a product of the Keenan Flagler Undergraduate Business School. In addition, I'm also a product of UNC's School of Journalism and Mass Communication, which is soon to be rebranded UNC's School of Media and Journalism, which I think is a fantastic moment of change for the school. It has been an absolute pleasure to be back on campus this weekend and to be welcomed by Chancellor Folt with a Southern hospitality that can be found nowhere else on earth. Y'all have been mighty kind. So, it must be said that this year, rather than choosing from any number of Nobel Prize laureates or political luminaries to be your commencement speaker, you have chosen me, the guy best known for making it easier to watch recent episodes of South Park and Family Guy. So, assuming that there were no Jedi mind tricks involved, it's clear to me that you have chutzpah and moxie. These two things will serve you very well in life. I'd like to share my story with you this morning. I share it in the hope that you may find some benefit. It is a story of dreams, failure and loss, perseverance, and one unfortunate run-in with the authorities in Southern California. In any event, my story goes like this. In 1993, I sat in the same bleachers you currently find yourselves in, adorned in my Carolina blue graduation gown, excited to graduate. My mother and father were there, enjoying the glorious pageantry of it all. That day, my parents got to meet the girl that I began dating months earlier. She was a junior at UNC. Perhaps you are experiencing similar family moments on campus this weekend and on Franklin Street. Life was pretty good. In the months prior to my graduation, I did everything I could to land a job in the machinery of Hollywood. My dream, dating back to when I was a kid, was to follow in the footsteps of Walt Disney. I had always been fascinated by stories well told and how Disney leveraged technology in the interest of making them better. For most of my senior year here in Chapel Hill, I wrote to every executive I could in Hollywood. The sum total of 5 months of letter writing and phone calling was a cavalcade of no's, if I was lucky to get a reply, and one informational interview for a movie production. The informational interview was to be conducted at Universal Studios in Los Angeles a few days after my graduation. I wasn't exactly off to a great start, but I was hopeful that things would improve. Soon after my graduation ceremony ended at Kenan Stadium that Sunday, I kissed my girlfriend goodbye and gave big hugs to my mother and to my father. I made the cross-country drive in my 1982 Subaru hatchback in record time, trying to make an impact in Los Angeles doing something that I loved. Now, this is where the story veers from the expected, and it's the first I've shared it. A day after arriving in Los Angeles, and on the heels of my informational interview at Universal Studios, my mother, tearfully but bravely, shared the news over the phone that my dad had taken his life. He was 47, kind, loving husband of 27 years, proud and wonderful father to 6 children, accomplished professional, having put himself through school, earning 3 degrees. The man I admired most, who taught me so much, was gone from this world 3 days after I last saw him in this very stadium. Things went poorly in the weeks and months that followed. That movie production job didn't work out the way that I had hoped. I was hired but soon let go. This was also the time that I learned, with the help of the Northridge, California Police Department, that the Cal State Northridge parking deck was not looking to welcome recent college graduates living out of their Subaru hatchbacks each night. I soon found myself working for a temp agency back home on the East Coast, installing shelving at a TJ Maxx that was undergoing renovation. I was personally lost, and professionally about as far from my dreams as one could be. I mention this part of my story because I want all of you, the graduating class of 2015, to know that in your moments of personal and professional adversity that are sure to come, you will not be alone. Everyone in this stadium, everyone, it turns out, in this world has struggled and will struggle with personal loss and professional failure. Adversity is a necessary and an important part of life. Adversity strengthens us in ways that success cannot. The mountain peaks of one's life may get the headlines and the Facebook posts, but the valleys, believe me, it is your journey through the valleys that will define you. Back when my dad died, I took a cue from how my mom had always persevered through adversity. For 30 years, she helped my dad successfully battle manic depressive disorder. And in that noble and successful fight, she chose to face adversity with courage, with kindness, and with optimism. I picked myself up eventually that summer of 1993, making an important observation along the way. When things get tough, I believe that we as a species surprise ourselves with how much strength we have deep within, strength that we may never have previously known or been aware of. In the most trying times, in unimaginable circumstances, that well of strength can be drawn upon. We find that we can persevere. You can persevere. This leads me to the second part of my story. And this is a story about doing what you love, about taking risks, and never stopping. I'll be the first to admit that my career is not for most people and has been filled with unusual moments of taking risk. I got my first real job at the Walt Disney Company by drawing myself into a comic strip rather than sending a resume. Upon graduating from business school in 1997 with a debt level that approximated Slovenia's gross domestic product, it's true, I jumped into a modestly salaried role at a relatively small private company in the Pacific Northwest that was trying to sell stuff over the internet. About that internet company, my friends and family thought I was insane to go there, given the uncertainty and the traditional opportunities that I would be foregoing. But I was intoxicated by a very simple thing that this company offered. Bad choice of words, huh? Believe it or not, after college, the word intoxicated has different meanings. It's not just tied to he's not here. So, this was a mission, not a job. Yes, there was risk, and yes, the company could have ended up belly up as many early stage companies do, but it did not. The small company that I joined was called Amazon, and I was able to learn for 9 years from one of the finest leaders of our time in Jeff Bezos. I took a risk to do something that I loved and passionately believed in, and I'm very glad that I did. Doing what you love, pursuing your own path, is often the most unsettling option at the outset. The paths that others have traveled before you, those are the paths that have greater visibility. They appear lower risk. They play better in conversations with the aunts, the uncles, and the neighbors. But don't fall for it. You are better than that, and you have the strength to go your own way. Remember, I know that each of you has moxie and chutzpah by the bucket loads. I made the decision in 2007 to jump into a new chapter, this time to build a team from day one and to help build a company with a mission to reimagine how television programming was delivered. We decided to call the company Hulu. In the early days ahead of Hulu's launch, both the company and my decision to lead and help build it were very publicly considered truly horrible, terrible ideas. We were called ClownCo by the smartest people in Silicon Valley. A digital counter even ran on one of the tech industry's most respected websites to track just how many days it was going to take for the company to implode. It's true. The early days of Hulu were among the toughest in my career. I kept reminding myself of that phrase that is attributed to Winston Churchill. When you are going through hell, keep going. But here's the thing that I can't emphasize enough for you here today. Most people that you run into in life, including the smart ones, they will be averse to new things. They certainly were in my experience at Hulu and at Amazon. The typical human response in the face of the new is to ignore, mock, or dismiss it. New is scary. New is the unknown. Most everyone does not believe that the new will work until it does. If you think that the world is broken in a certain way and you have a great idea to fix it, do yourself a favor and follow your convictions relentlessly. The path I describe will be an uncertain one. But don't let the fear of uncertainty, of not having all the answers, be the thing that holds you back from pursuing your dreams. At your age, it's very natural to have so many questions. Who will I be? What do I want to do? Where should I live? What makes me happy? It's easy to feel alone in this uncertainty, to feel bad that you don't have all the answers and all the details figured out, even though it seems like your friends do. But as you get older, you realize that no one has all the answers. It turns out that life is an exercise in living with the certainty of uncertainty. Hulu ended up working out. Consumers were ready for a new way to enjoy their favorite TV programs. But none of this would have happened in my career had I not chosen to ignore the conventional wisdom and pursue what I loved, taking considered risks along the way. And when I found myself going through hell, to keep going. Before I finish and let you get back to watching Family Guy on Hulu, I'd like to bring things full circle, back to here, to Kenan Stadium. The girl from Carolina, the one from my own graduation that I mentioned at the start, well, she is actually here in the stadium again today. And she has 4 small humans in her wake that keep referring to me as their father. I love you, Jamie, more than you can know. I better get some brownie points for that. My mother also happens to be here today in this special stadium. My mother is taking in the glorious pageantry once more and inspiring me each day with her choices of courage, of kindness, and optimism. And so, now, graduating class of 2015. This is when your adventure begins. My wish is that you make it the most epic adventure possible. Dream big. Take risk. Fail. Pick yourself back up again. And always remember this. There is no adversity capable of stopping you once the choice to persevere is made. It has been a true honor and the highest of privileges to address you this morning. I am rooting for each and every one of you. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jason. I think we also have to thank you for creating generations of students who now no longer know that the Amazon is the greatest river in America, in the world. Okay, you do know, I know. It's now time to turn to the conferral of degrees. So we're going to start by taking a couple moments to recognize some of our outstanding undergraduates. I'd like to start with these seniors who are exceptionally accomplished students and who exemplify the highest possible level of undergraduate scholarship. I'd like to ask the candidates for baccalaureate degrees with highest honors to please rise and remain standing. It's hard to see them in the umbrellas, but they are there. Will the candidates for baccalaureate degrees with honors please join them, rise and remain standing? Congratulations to all of you. Thank you. That is an outstanding achievement. I now would like to call on Dean Karen Gill to please come forward to present the students from the College of Arts and Sciences.
Chancellor Folt, I am very proud to present to you the candidates for Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Arts, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Regional Planning, Master of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Science. Congratulations. Would these students please rise?
I'd like all candidates for degrees to join them and rise now for the conferring of the degrees. By virtue of the authority vested in the University of North Carolina, by the state of North Carolina, and by the university entrusted to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree for which the faculty has certified you, together with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining, and I offer you my warmest congratulations. I now invite Sasha Seymour and Alexis White, co-representatives of the senior class, to say a few words to the class of 2015. Oh, I'm supposed to tell what you're going to do. Hold on one sec. At the conclusion of their remarks, they'll lead you in the switching of your tassel, which will signify your graduation from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
We have to make a few adjustments real quickly.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Good. That'll be all right. That'll be fine.
Hello, everyone. Oh, hi. My name is Sasha Seymour, and this is my senior class co-representative, Alexis White. Traditionally, it has been the responsibility of only one of us to deliver the commencement address. However, in our role as senior class representatives, Alexis and I have done nearly everything as a team. And as we speak to our class for the last time, we wanted to do this together, as a team as well.
So, as Sasha and I began writing our speech, we realized that every graduation speech that we had ever heard said exactly the same things. You know, things like, this university is the best university in the world. Or, and it is, or, go, chase your dreams, and you can change the world. So we decided that there was absolutely no way that we were going to say any of those things in this speech. However, as we began planning and writing our speech, somehow each and every single one of those cliches found their way into this speech. So now, Sasha and I realize why all of those things show up in nearly every graduation speech, because they're true. So, at the risk of being cliche, we just have to take a few moments and elaborate on 4 of them right now.
First, this university is the best place in the world. While we certainly agree that UNC is undoubtedly the finest institution in the country, and that everyone else's undergraduate experiences more than likely paled in comparison to ours, we would say that UNC is the best, not just because of our experiences in the classroom, but because of the shared memories, experiences, and lessons that we've learned along the way. At UNC, we've learned that you're not defined by your academic accomplishments, but rather who you are as a person and what you're doing for the people around you. We've shared the experiences of listening to both the sitting president and first lady, and endured tragic losses and scandals that have challenged us, yet made us stronger, both as a class and a university. And of course, we have shared memories that will last a lifetime. We have memories of drawing those ridiculous 5s on our wrist in honor of Kendall Marshall's athletic injury. We have memories of snow days and beating Duke, and of course, and holy moly. And of course, who could forget the riveting performance from Juicy J and 2 Chainz that we as a class experienced freshman year? Certainly not me.
Second, you can change the world. You know, today will be the day that we are going to be told how great we are, how smart we are, how special we are, and that we have the potential to change the world. Now, we believe that each of those statements are true, but Sasha and I were not interested in simply repeating them. We want to explain them. We don't believe that the class of 2015 can change the world. We know that the class of 2015 is changing the world. You see, we are already changing the world through world-class research in glaciology and Arctic hydrology, that's a tongue twister, y'all, by creating a food pantry for students who otherwise wouldn't be able to feed themselves, and by creating an app to fight Ebola in Liberia. These are simply a few of the hundreds of ways that our classmates are already impacting the world around us. And while each of these accomplishments are absolutely amazing, it's not what makes you special. That's not what truly sets you apart. What makes you great is not the content of your resumes, but it's the power of your love.
For example, Michael Bojansky, you embodied the caring Carolina spirit after you brought multiple steak Chipotle burritos to my bedside, unasked, after I tore my ACL in December and couldn't walk.
And Rachel Tates, you showed me what it means to be a true Tar Heel and friend when you pulled that all-nighter with me, not because you had to, but just because you wanted to make sure that I got my work done. You see, class of 2015, we have already accomplished so much. And your love has changed Sasha and I's life and touched our hearts forever. And we appreciate that. But our work is far from over. You see, this world needs the class of 2015. So this morning, Sasha and I are not here to remind you of your post-graduation potential. We're here to ask you, to request that you keep pushing, that you keep fighting, that you stay committed to changing the world. because we do know that each and every one of you is capable of changing the world.
Except for you, Dylan Samael. We're just kidding. Dylan will be okay.
Yeah, Dylan, you're great. You're great.
Third, follow your dreams. This is possibly the most overused phrase in all of graduation speeches, and we will use it again right now. However, when we ask you to follow your dreams, we don't mean chasing some ultimate life goal that will leave you fulfilled once you achieve it. Those types of goals don't exist, and even if they did, you probably don't know what yours is. Instead, when we talk about following your dreams, we're referring to a continuous process of dreaming, achieving, sometimes failing, and dreaming again. This process should never end. For example, last week I was talking to my grandfather, who keeps bees in his spare time. Papa was telling me about his plans to create an elaborate double-decker beehive with which he will be able to keep twice the amount of bees and store twice the amount of honey. This is exactly the type of continuous dreaming and achieving, well, if he accomplishes it, achieving, that we're talking about. And I hope that each and every one of you is still dreaming when you've reached his age of 45.
Finally, this graduation speech would not be complete without a list of all of the people that you should thank today. Guys, I think it's easy and in some ways even natural to think that this is our day, that this graduation is about us. But I'd ask that you take a second and look around with me. This stadium is filled with thousands of people. This stadium is filled with your mothers and your fathers, your siblings, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your partners, and loved ones who made it possible for you to be exactly where you are right now. So, we are sharing this day, this moment, and this unique accomplishment with all of them. Also, we understand that it was hard to get to graduation. 4 years of Carolina was not easy. Woo! But we know that it will be absolutely impossible without the hard work, love, and sacrifice of our remarkable mothers. So I think it's only fitting that we celebrate this day on their day, Mother's Day. Thank you, Mama. We made it. So please remember that today is both a celebration of your accomplishments and a unique opportunity for you to honor the family and loved ones that made your Carolina dreams a reality.
Although this is the end of our speech, this is not goodbye. We hope you all have wonderful lives, and we hope to hear about all of them when you come attend our reunions. We hope that you stay connected to the university that we all love, and we really hope that you've all taken the chance to donate to the 2015 senior class campaign.
But seriously, you guys, there's really still time, okay?
Woo! Class of 2015, it has been an honor to work with you, serve you, and journey alongside of you for these past 4 years. Go forth, get buckets, and go Heels.
It looks like the rain has stopped just in time for this moment, all right, you guys? As president and vice president of the class of 2015, we are privileged to lead you in the moving of your tassels from right to left, signifying your new status. Congratulations. Seriously. Put it down. Yeah. Thank you, Sasha and Alexis.
because of the bad weather, I thought that maybe I'd shorten my 40-minute closing remarks to 4 key points. You're at the best university in the world. You can change the world. Follow your dreams. And you share this day with many people. Congratulations, graduates. Welcome to the ranks of alumni of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I do just have a very simple charge to give to you, and I'm asking you today to make a pledge to yourself, and make this pledge to yourself and to others. I ask you to pledge to yourself that you'll be your best, and that you will know that you have been given many advantages, and with those advantages you now have the power to change, to influence, and do extraordinary things. But at the same time, pledge to this university that you'll use those advantages widely, wisely, justly. Pledge to yourself that you'll trust your heart and your courage and your judgment and your capacity, but also pledge to your university that you'll do this without becoming arrogant, without losing your empathy for others, and never forgetting that others always do help you. And finally, pledge to yourself that you're always going to keep looking around the next corner, seeking a better future, and at the same time, pledge to this university that as we all march to an unknown future, you will help us advance, and you will hold us to the highest possible standards. We're so proud of you. You have such skills and capacities. You've got great sense of humor, and you've brought out the sun. So, yes. Class of 2015, you truly are the finest testament to the future of this great university, to this great state, to this nation in the world that I can possibly imagine. Now, before we close, we're going to follow another wonderful Carolina tradition. And we're going to ask all the families of our graduates to please rise. Parents, spouses, children, grandparents, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, visiting friends. Wow, that is very impressive. Graduates, it is now your turn to turn and thank them. I hope you'll also join me in thanking the director of the university band, Jeffrey Fuchs, and the student musicians for their music today. Our fantastic student marshals for all of their work. The faculty who have cherished and enjoyed your progress. And finally, the many, many Carolina employees who have been working tirelessly to make this campus so beautiful this week and every week. Following this celebration, we're going to invite you for a reception on the now sunny Polk Place immediately following the ceremony. As you leave, we ask you to please exit the stadium by going up the stairs and out of the stadium the same way that you came in. Please don't come down to the field because there's only one exit at field level, and that's reserved for people that need to use that. And so now it's my great pleasure to introduce the UNC Clefhangers, who will perform Carolina in My Mind.
In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yes, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind.
Orange cheese, a silver sun, you best walk away and watch it shine. Watch her watch the one come. A silver tear appearing now, and I'm crying, and I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. Ain't no doubt in no one's mind, love's the finest thing around. She whispers something soft and kind, like, hey babe, the sky's on fire and I'm dying. Ain't I? I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't just like a friend of mine, take me from behind. I'm gone to Carolina, mine.
Dark and silent late last night, I think I might have heard the highway calling. Geese in flight and dogs at bite. Signs that might be omens say I'm going, gone to Carolina in my mind. With the water standing around me. Still I'm on the dark side of the room, and it seems like it goes on like this forever. You must forgive me if I'm gone to Carolina, mind. In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yes, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. Yes, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. I know I'm coming back to Carolina in my mind. When I'm gone, I'm gone. I'm gone. Won't you say nice things about me when I'm gone? Won't you carry on without me when I'm gone?
And now the UNC Harmonics will lead us in singing Hark the Sound. And afterwards, please remain in your seats until the platform party exits the field. UNC Harmonics.
Hark the sound of Tar Heel voices, ringing clear and true, singing Carolina's praises, shouting NCU. Hail to the brightest star of all, clear its radiant shine. Carolina, priceless gem, receive all praises thine. I'm a Tar Heel born, I'm a Tar Heel bred, and when I die, I'm a Tar Heel dead. So is my Rock Carolina, Lina, Rock Carolina, Lina, Rock Carolina, Lina. Tar Heel too!
In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? And ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yes, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. Karen, she's a silver sun, you best walk her away and watch it shining. Watch her watch the morning come. A silver tear appearing now, I'm crying, ain't I? I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. There ain't no doubt in no one's mind that love's the finest thing around. Whisper something soft and kind. And hey babe, the sky's on fire, I'm dying, ain't I? I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yes, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. Well, dark and silent late last night, I think I might have heard the highway calling. Geese in flight and dogs that bite. The signs that might be